Welcome to video number 6 of the program Chatting with Greice. I created this series of videos to discuss strategies to help you lose weight, look and feel your best without following quick diet. My name is Greice Levine and I am a health coach. In case you don't know what a health coach is a type of guide or mentor that helps you make lifestyle changes so you can build healthy habits around eating and exercising. In today's episode, I'm gonna be talking about how to deal with stress eating. If you find yourself eating too much because of the amount of stress you have every day, this video is going to be a great guide for you. Also, it's gonna be good for you to know that you're not alone. So let's start talking about what is stress eating. Let's just be real about this. No matter how much we try to stay positive and avoid stress in our everyday life, we know that stressful situations will always be part of our everyday life, no matter what. Why? Because it's just something you don't have control of. We don't have control. You can be in a great mood, driving to work, driving to the gym, driving anywhere, or you can have a beautiful morning and then in the afternoon something happens to you that you cannot control, or at night something happens to you that you cannot control that just mess up your whole day. We might not have control of all these life situations around us, but one thing that we all have control is how we react to every single little thing that's creating stress in our life. Basically, stress eating can be defined, in other words, as emotional eating, or eating to compensate for something, or as an alternative to dealing with emotion. According to a Harvard Health research, 27% of adults have reported using food to deal with stress, while 34% of these people admit it to be a habit. So this is very serious. So basically you have 34% of the people using food as quick solution to deal with their stress, their sadness, and everything that is going wrong. This is a real problem that most of people are facing today, and that's why I am talking about it now. So the question is, why do we overeat when we're feeling stressed? Let's just say that we usually blame external factors to justify the fact that we are overeating when we're stressed, right? So we will blame people around us, we will blame our co-workers, we will blame our family members, spouses, we will blame the place that we are at. Like, for example, we are at your office and there's always this person that will bring you cookies and leave it there, and they might offer to you in the morning and you may say no. But later on, as your day gets very stressed with the activities or your personal issues, you might just go attack the cookies because you're feeling stressed, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling sad, and you just eat these cookies as a way to make you feel better. But if you look like for the long term, the results is really not gonna help you. Maybe you have kids, so you can blame your kids for the cooks you keep at home. There are just so many reasons, so many external reasons, external situations that we can just blame ourselves for it. The truth is that the real issue with stress eating lies in our lack of awareness of our bodies. Most of the time, stress eating happens when the body does not need food, as the messages between our mind and our body get confused. So when this happens, we are not even hungry. but we look for foods that can give us some time of pleasure. Basically, like the longer the stressful period continues, the more emotional eating a person will do. Then if you rely on foods to deal with your stress, you gain a lot of weight. Then you have to deal with hormone imbalances and an increased risk of more serious diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular problems, and many others. This is an addiction very difficult to escape, but the good news is that there are ways to escape periods of stress and emotional eating. The first step, you're probably doing already, right? You're watching this video and this is the first step. Maybe if you're watching this video, you have this problem right now, or you have been dealing with this problem before, like we all have in some point of our life. So the first step is to identify that you might have this issue and you want to get better or get away of this problem as soon as possible. So the first step is watching this video. Continue to watch and you're gonna get a lot of value from this video today. The first step is to realize that you have an issue and you want to improve it. And the real problem is when people don't recognize that they have this stress eating problem and they just keep doing it like every day. That's how they get away of their pain, their sadness, their stress, and then they gain a lot of weight, and then they just keep like this habit, you know, for a long term, and then they ended up like gaining a lot of weight and feeling guilty and feeling bad about themselves. So it just like creates a space for many other issues. So if you are struggling, if you ever in your life had this problem, just know that you are not alone. Like we all in some point of our life had this problem as well. I probably mentioned before that when I lived in Brazil, I was a CPA. So from the age 21 until the age 24, I always had a very crazy, busy schedule. I was working during the day and I was going to college at, nighttime. So my schedule was totally crazy. But one thing I remember like my job was very stressful. I was doing auditing and I have very crazy deadlines. So I would sometimes spend the whole night working, work 24 hours, work 15 hours, be sitting in front of computer for many hours. And I worked for a big four, and that was my dream job at the time. And they would give me like a limited amount of money to spend on dinner. So what I would do back there, I was so stressed, overwhelmed. I would always like get this dinner, like this burger, fries, or salad with a lot of dressing on it. I would sometimes get a salad, but back there I didn't know anything about nutrition, so I was getting the salad and getting this big meal and getting dessert. And I remember like that would be like my escape, like something I would look forward for because like my company was paying for. So I would get these fancy foods every night when I was working, and that was really my escape. Like this really good tasting high calorie foods. I would always get this brownie as dessert, drink soda, and I see as an escape. Or even when I moved to the US, I remember when I first moved, I didn't know many people. I was not depressed, but I was dealing with different feelings. And I remember like I would work some hours, and I remember like I would, back there when I just moved to the US, I would be exhausted from the week, and sometimes like on Friday night I would feel like lonely some days. And back there I loved like junk food. I loved chocolate, chips, soda. I just would go to Target and buy a lot of junk food and go to my room, watch Netflix and eat all the junk food and feel like shit next day. And I was gaining a lot of weight. But that was my escape. Later on, I started to doing dance classes and I started like going to the gym. But before that, I was even like doing this, if I was in this stress eating cycle myself, and I have been, through this stress eating cycles many other times in my life. So if you feel like there's something wrong with you, like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. There's a lot of people struggling with the same problem. And I'm gonna talk about some solutions, some things that you can start doing to change that habit, little by little. So I would say, if you can learn just one thing from this video, I want you to watch yourself next time you get very stressed. I want you to ask yourself, if I eat this food, like let's say you're having a very stressful day, you had a fight with people, with somebody, or maybe your wife, your husband, your kids, and you just like feel like eating something that's gonna taste good just so you feel better for like 30 minutes, right? Because that's usually what it is. So next time you feel like that, I want you to think for just a second, take a deeper breath and think, if I eat this tasting junk food to escape from the situation that I am right now, will this benefit my body? Is there gonna be any healthy benefits to my body, to my skin, if I eat this junk tasting food right now? So do this, and I guarantee you will start to have more self-control. Just start doing. I know, because I was in that situation for years, dealing with that, ups and downs in life. And this happens a lot when we're lonely and we're sad about something. That's when we feel like I gotta do something to feel better. Like nowadays, I have a better understand about it and more self-control, because I have been training my brain for a long time and reading and practicing mindset. So this is not a problem that you can fix in one day. This is a process. So, but once you start having more control of yourself, you start to build like stronger habits about dealing with this, and that's how you get better. So this only gets better if you start talking to yourself about it, having these conversations with yourself. Every time you feel sad, every time you feel very stressed about something, you start having these conversations. What's the damage that this food is causing in my body? Is it getting me close to my goal? What can I do different? Like, what's the alternative, right? So let's say you're craving McDonald's, you're craving Burger King, you're craving what's the other foods? Taco Bell, right? All these foods, they have like very addicting ingredients, and that's why you crave, and that's why you even feel a little better when you eat it, because those ingredients were all created to be addicting, and that's why people are so addicted to it. But when you feel like just driving yourself to like Taco Bell, McDonald's, Wendy's, or whatever fast food that's just open 24 hours, just think, what's the alternative that I can do for this? Can I maybe go for a walk? Can I call a friend? Can I eat a healthy version of whatever I'm craving? And start doing that, and it's gonna change your life. Believe me, it's really going to change everything for you. So please, if you ever had this issue of overeating, or if you are already aware of when you most struggle to control your eating, I would love to hear about it. So I know you're probably not gonna comment on my video below because this is totally private, but feel free to send me a private message on my Instagram or my email, and I'll be happy to help you or to just listen to you. So please feel free to reach out, or even share this video with anybody that you know is struggling with the same thing. Could be a friend, somebody you work with, a family member. Just please share this video with that person, because you really never know like how this can be helpful. Maybe this person can just like change their life. So please share with your friends and family. If this is a problem for you, or you know somebody is struggling with the same problem, please just share this video with that person, and I really hope it will help them change the way they think about and how they deal with stress eating. Now I want to talk about it. Why is it important to identify what's causing you to overeat when you're stressed? I know it's not the most comfortable experience to look at something that's causing you just discomfort, right? It's not. I know it's not the most comfortable experience to look at something that's make you uncomfortable, but it's the only way to make progress against damaging habits of stress eating. What do I mean by that? If you just take the time to be honest with yourself and write down when you're feeling overwhelmed, what type of thoughts you're having when you're feeling overwhelmed, what's causing you to turn to food, right? So if you take the time to write down when this is happening, this can help you identify the real root of your problem. So you can start working on stress. So if you identify the root of your problems, is there your job? Is there a person around you? If you identify the problem that's happening too often, you can think about strategies to reduce this from happening. So I'll give you an example. If you know you you just attack food when you're feeling lonely, try to call a friend. When you're feeling lonely, try to call a friend or a family member. So that's gonna avoid you from being alone. Invite a friend to go for a walk. That can help you. And then the more you try to switch your energy from attacking food when you're feeling lonely, depressed, or stressed, this is just gonna change the way you react and the way you deal with this feeling, and eventually you're gonna stop relying on foods to feel better about yourself. It can also be very helpful to carry food with you, right? So if you see that you're always stressed in the afternoon because you're trying to get your work done, and then that's the time you're hungry already because you probably had your lunch at 12 or 1, and now every day at 4 or 5, that's the time that you feel hungry. Why don't you just carry some snacks with you? It could be a banana, apple, a protein shake, protein powder that you can mix with water. It could be a sandwich, it could be anything. Just be prepared, carry that with you. So what I do, I know I always feel hungry at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. My metabolism is like a clock. It works. I have lunch at 1. When it's 5, even 4 o'clock, I'm hungry again. I know every single day by 4 or 5, I am gonna be hungry. I just know. So what I do, I always have my go-to snacks. Bananas, apples, pears, could be 2 slices of multi-grain bread with peanut butter, like I was mentioning, peanut butter or almond butter. A protein shake. I carry like a protein powder. I use the plant-based one, which I can recommend it to everybody. You just mix with water, and that keeps me feeling good and gives me the energy to until dinner. So I'm not like in a bad mood. I have energy. I don't crave other things. Like, I work in this office and there is a shopping machine in the back with a lot of snacks. The hardest thing here is to find something healthy, right? Like, I see people going there and buying like Coke, buying drinks, they're just this amount, it's just sugar. And so if you start carrying food with you, you avoid this problem. Yeah, you will feel stressed, and sometimes some part of your day you're gonna feel stressed, you're gonna feel overwhelmed, people are gonna make you upset, it's gonna happen. So just be prepared, carry something with you, and be ready. Be ready to attack this healthy snack. It's very, very simple, guys. Like, I'm talking about this because emotional eating could be like also a reaction of your body feeling deprived, right? So maybe you're trying to do like a very restricted diet and your mental is not there, you're not feeling yourself. So by bring healthy snacks with you to work, or keeping these healthy snacks at home, that's just a way to nourish your body. More you nourish your body with good foods, better you will feel. And then you just avoid the stress eating from happening, like totally. Just be prepared, like if you know like somebody is going to attack you, right? What do? You get ready, right? You get prepared. That's what we do. The same thing is with the emotional eating. If you know you're gonna have to do with stress, of that stressful situation during your day, be prepared, because that's the only way you're gonna win this. So another tip I would recommend is for you to stock your fridge with delicious, healthy foods. Pack your calendar with exciting things if you can, and make sure you block some time to do self-care, to relax, to enjoy yourself, okay, every single week. So now I just want to share with you guys a little bit of my experience, right? Like, what do I see happening with my clients, and where do I see them make mistakes when dealing with stress eating. A lot of times when my clients are already changing many habits around eating and exercising, they're doing their groceries, they are learning to eat more of the foods that make them feel good, they're change their mentality around what's bad, what's good. We go through this process, and still in some moment they're going to struggle, and they would tell me, oh, this day I was feeling stressed, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, so I didn't eat my salad for a couple of days, or I didn't go to the gym for a couple of days. And this is all because they're dealing with a lot of stress. So if this is happening to you, it's super normal. You are not the worst person in the world. It's super normal, okay? I talk to my clients like weekly. We have Zoom every 2 weeks, and still they struggle with this. Why? Because it's not easy. In one day, in 24 hours, there are just so many things that we cannot control that can happen to us, and at some point you're gonna lose it, and that's fine. So don't feel guilty for everything that you do that it's not helping your health, or don't feel guilty because you're not eating healthy foods all the time. Like, it's hard. It's really, really hard. So because like what I'm trying to say is like, because I see these on a daily basis, I know it's really hard. I know, I understand. And I also like, I understand like how people say, oh, go to the gym, do yoga, do meditation, go for a walk. But it's like sometimes like I see my clients struggling so much because, you know, sometimes they just want to talk to someone, and by doing that they already feel better, right? By telling, just by talking, they feel a little better. And you know what, it's like, it's not easy. So I'm just saying, like, if you're in this situation where you find yourself eating because you're very stressed, and then you feel guilty about it, and you feel guilty because you're not going for a walk, because you're not going to the gym, because you're not doing your groceries, because you're not eating your salad, you're not eating your fruits, you're not eating your greens. It's like, let it go, this guilty, because everybody's like, people are struggling, and this is just like the truth, you know, like, so take it easy on yourself. I know it's not easy. So what I usually recommend to my clients when they have this situation is just trying to improve little things during the day, right? So for example, mindful eating. Mindful eating is a term that has been recommended by many experts to help people that are struggling with emotional eating. So what's mindful eating? This is really hard. So mindful eating is still hard for me. I still find like hard to be mindful, you know, when eating. Like a lot of times, like I'm always in a rush, and I want to eat super fast, and I'm like already starving. I just want to eat. But this is something that you just practice, right? So when you're I tell my clients, and I'm trying to do that myself as well. When you're eating, try to be at the moment, right? So enjoy the bites, enjoy the food, enjoy the process. Try to, I know it can be very hard when you're very busy, but really try to like be present at the moment. Like mindful eating has a couple of steps. So before eating, take time to note, take time to like pay attention to your level of hunger, right? Like how hungry are you? Pay attention to the foods that would mostly help fuel your body for the situation. So for example, before eating, take the time to see, like, to just pay attention to like your level of hunger. Are you really hungry? If you're hungry, what are you eating is really gonna help you feel better. Like the foods you're eating is actually giving you the energy you need to do a task, or to deal with problems, or to you know, maybe you're doing a hike, or you have an important meeting and you want to feel well. So is that food that you're eating providing you the right feel for you to feel your best and perform your best? So start thinking about that every single meal. Another thing is during the period that you're eating. So try to like chew slowly. I know this can be super hard when you're very hungry, but try to like practice this. Chew slowly, take breaks, and try to taste every little, you know, flavor of your meal. Enjoy the meal, not just like rush it to just eat, because then you might feel hungry very quick if you eat too fast. So many professionals recommend taking a break between 5 and 10 minutes in the middle of your meal. This is really something that I cannot do it myself, but you can try. I'm usually hungry when I eat my meals, so I don't take this 5-10 minutes break, but you can try yourself. After you eat, try to view the meal you have just ingested as fuel to help you achieve whatever task or work activity you're planning to do. And just be mindful, like on the way you feel after. Try to think about it like you feel like the food was too heavy, the food was too light, and use this information to move forward to making change if you need. You regret the food you ate. How do you feel, right? So this is an exercise, guys, okay? I have been doing this a lot. Basically, I remember when I was like overweight and I was trying to lose weight, a lot of times I would make so many mistakes with eating. Like, for example, I was busy, and then right before I went to the gym, I was very, very new at exercising. But one mistake that I would make sometimes was like I would eat a meal like I would sometimes go to Panera Bread, have like a very fatty soup, and then right after I would go to the gym, and then when I got to the gym I would feel horrible, bloated, sweaty. So even like, you know, when you eat the wrong foods, you have a reaction after. So I started watching like, okay, I ate this, how I'm feeling when I'm working, how I feel if I'm going to the gym, how I feel if I'm going for a walk, what can I change, and make those small changes so you feel better, so you don't have a stomach ache, you don't feel like, you know, you don't have like low energy. So keep doing that as an exercise to feel and perform at your best. That's what I'm trying to say. I do a lot of that with my training. So right now I try to eat 1 hour, 1 hour and a half before my training, or sometimes I just fast and I go to the gym very early without eating, and then I eat my breakfast after. So switch it up, test it out, find how you feel, you know, about different foods. So basically, like, just trying to, you know, everything's linked. So try to always be, you know, doing this exercise of asking yourself, is this meal helping me feel and perform my best? And if it's not, what can I change for tomorrow, for the next week? And keep doing that. So now I want to talk about one very interesting thing. What is the role of stress in weight gain? What happens when you are feeling stressed and you overeat and you're gaining weight? Let me just explain this a little bit for you so you see how everything is so connected. So basically, stress is associated with increased cortisol. What's cortisol? Cortisol is a naturally occurring steroid hormone that plays a key role in the body's stress response. It's often called the stress hormone. I don't know if you ever heard about it, but that's cortisol. What happens is stress is associated with increased cortisol, right? Increased cortisol has been associated with increased intake of hyperpalatable foods, which are, this is a complicated word, but what is it? These are foods high in salt, fat, or both. There's also evidence that our bodies metabolize food more slowly under stress. In addition, stress and high cortisol levels are associated with increased belly fat, which puts people at risk for diseases like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. And to add that to the list of unhealthy effects of stress eating on the body, high cortisol levels can reduce lean muscle mass, and this in turn has an impact on your metabolic rate. You know, the less lean muscle you have in your body, the lower your metabolic rate, and fewer calories you burn at rest, right? So all of this is a setup for weight gain and poor health with increased stress. So basically, like, when you work out, you have a strategy to build lean muscles, your metabolic rate gets better, right? After the years, I can create another video talking about metabolic rate, but basically, if you mess up your metabolic rate because of stress eating, you're gonna be gaining weight for a long time, and this is a very serious problem. Then you're gonna have belly fat, and then it's just, and then you might have heart diseases, type 2 diabetes, and then it's just like, it's a huge problem. So I don't need to, I don't want to be so specific about this, but this is a very serious problem. If you're dealing with stress, overeating because of stress, you definitely want to look like this big picture and how that's impacting your whole body, and do something about it, because this is serious. So like I said, I can go a little bit deep about metabolic rate in another video. I would love to do that. But basically, if you're dealing with stress right now, just try to get some tips from this video and take this serious, like, to make some change in your life today. Again, if you're dealing with stress eating, this can happen to everybody. You are not alone. As a health coach, like I said, I do like a follow-up with my clients, and a lot of times, like, if my clients, that's happened before, where I had a client that just came back from vacation, and she's dealing with many different stressful situations that week, and I talked, to some of my clients, and I see like they're struggling, and this is normal, like they find themselves attacking chips, attacking chocolate, attacking bread, attacking anything to feel better. So this can happen to all of us. We're human beings, we have emotions, and the key here is not to make this a normal habit, a normal situation, right? This is the key. Is not to have food as your escape for every stress or sad moment of your life. That's the point. So if you're dealing with stress eating, I just want to tell you something very interesting. Exercise can actually save you from stress eating. First, let me tell you that exercise should never be used as a way to punish yourself for the foods you ate when you're stressed or because you overate. Okay? Let's just make that clear. However, exercise can help you reduce binge eating, and can help you prevent exercise can help you stop like losing control with food. Why? Because when we exercise, we feel good about ourselves, we feel confident, we feel happy, we feel strong, we feel positive, we have all these like positive endorphins. These endorphins from exercise actually shift energy around our body, and then it changes your mind and changes your mood. So if you exercise, you're definitely gonna feel better after every single time. So what I want to tell you is like, try to use exercise as joy, as fun, to get these endorphins after the workout. So when you finish your workout, even if you're sad still or stressed, at least you're gonna have the desire to eat more healthy foods instead of attacking McDonald's, Wendy's, or whatever junk, because you just worked for and you feel good about yourself. and this is just one habit that's gonna lead you for a better habit after. Okay, so now let me just ask you, did you ever stop to think about the things you can remove from your life that triggers stress eating? If yes, try to remove some of these things today. Basically, I want to tell you that the battle against any food related issues is not one that can be fought once. Okay, it's not like something that you're just gonna fix and everything's gonna be beautiful in your life. It's very complicated, and there's no guarantee that you're gonna fix this problem and not have this problem again the next day, the next week, the next season of your life, the next struggle that you're gonna have to face. So, but what you can do is start to have this small change every time that happens to you. So you can meal prep, you can try to maintain good foods around you, try to change your habits, and be mindful about what you're putting in your body every day. That's what's really gonna help you achieve a balance in your eating habits. This can be very difficult. I know this can be difficult if you're in a toxic relationship, if you are in a toxic environment at your job, and if you're not happy with different things in your life. But keep practicing this, taking step by step, what's causing me to feel so stressed? What can I eat? If there's a person that's causing you to feel so stressed, how can you spend less time with the person, right? So just think about solutions to that problem. Let's say you are overeating because you're feeling stressed, right? You have this situation where you're feeling sad, you're feeling stressed, you just want to escape, right? You go, get in your car, drive yourself to Wendy's, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Wawa, 7-Eleven, whatever, and you buy yourself a bunch of junk food or donuts, and you just start eating, right? You start eating to try to fill this gap, this emptiness that you're feeling. So if this happened to you, I know it can be very, 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 very hard. Try to forget about it, okay? If you had that, you gotta live your life next day. Try to forget about next day. Start fresh. It's a new beginning, and for your next meal, try to have more foods that's gonna fill your body with high nutrients, okay? Because also the situation happens okay, let's say you had an episode, you went there, you ate a bunch of junk and everything. If your next meal you try to focus on high nutrient foods, and then you're gonna see that you're gonna feel better. You're not gonna be bloated. If you had some greens, you're actually gonna go to the bathroom. You're not gonna feel tired. Your energy is gonna be good. So by doing that the next day after you've had the situation, you are changing everything in your mind, in your body, and your feelings are gonna change. Your anxiety, your stress, your sadness, everything is gonna change, and you're gonna make better decisions next time when you have the same stress, sadness, depression, whatever that's causing you to overeat. And also when that happens, think about your skin, right? Your skin is the biggest, our skin is the biggest organ in your body. Consider all that, right? So how do you want your skin to look like? Or even as you age, how do you want your skin to look like? So start thinking about deep, right? Is this junk food bringing me a quick comfortable, but how is my skin gonna look the next day? And is it worth it, the damage? If not, then make better decisions next time. I know it's not easy, but if you start thinking about your skin, your health, everything in your body, your energy, the way you feel after you eat like a bunch of food because you're like stressed, everything will change for you. Believe me, it will change. Yeah, start with one thought at a time. You can change the way you relate to food, one bite at a time, just do one bite at a time. Yeah, so, and please look, like if you're dealing with this, just look for small improvements and no perfection, okay? I'm just gonna end with this, but I know if you're dealing with this problem, it can seem like a distant, achievable goal for you to change right now. But it's like if you start, if you listen to this video and you write down some tips, small tips, and you start like applying it to your life, it's gonna change everything for you. And if you just have a little bit of determination, and if you get support if you need, I really believe you can change the way you think about food, the way you eat food, the way you approach food. It's a process, but I really believe you can do it, because this is something like I have been working on myself for a long time, and I see small improvements. It doesn't mean I'm never gonna have the same issues in any moment of my life, but it's just an exercise that you keep doing daily, and you get better. It doesn't happen natural to anybody. Of course, people have more stress than others, but don't compare yourself to anybody. Don't compare your life to anybody. Just, be you and deal with your problems, and you'll be fine. And, I'm just know that I am here to support you. So if there's anything that I can do to help, please let me know. Feel free to comment, feel free to share this video with anybody, feel free to send me a message, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know what topic you would like to hear about it in my next video, or send me a private message. I will be really happy to answer and get back to you, and do my best to just respond and help. Okay, so I look forward for my next video, and I see you soon.